coming into 2025, you need to change two things if you want people to buy your high ticket products. Number one is your messaging in the backend, so no more cookie cutter how-to style content. And number two is increasing the number of touch points. In 2025, there's a major trust recession coming in from 2024 and 2023. People just simply don't trust people online anymore. So if you're selling info, you need to be moving away from cookie cutter how-to style content, both in your front end and your backend. Instead, move to a more framework or concept type of content, which gets your audience thinking about your solution in a more holistic way. So let me break down exactly what I mean by this. Okay, so why does framework messaging even work in the first place? Well, when you start moving away from typical 3 steps to doing X, Y, Z, when you start moving away from that kind of content, you end up building more trust and it positions you as an expert in your field. So you are basically safe from this trust recession that we're seeing. A few years ago, to be honest, and before that, we were in a major and maybe arguably still are in a attention recession. At this point, you can easily get attention, but converting that into sales and clients that stay with you long term, it's really difficult because of that trust element. So what you can do is have frameworks and concepts within your content in your backend and your front end that provides clarity and uniqueness to your offer. It shows your audience why and how your solution works, and it helps you be unique compared to the other people out there. So this is the difference from being a teacher with a whiteboard to being a mentor and really someone who takes that ideal prospect, takes your client from A to B to Z to C to all the way to Z, or Z for the Americans. So how to do this? Well, you need to really go in and hone in and focus on the transformation over simple tactics. You don't want to keep saying, oh, just do this, this, and this. Focus on the transformation, which will appeal to basically the more high ticket buyers, okay? So the flow goes like this. Pain points, which you have in your content, in your Instagram and your TikToks, whatever. Framework, which you go deep into your long form content, which will be YouTube, your emails, even LinkedIn. You'll obviously have the solution in both parts as well. And then moving on to the transformation, which is where you'll help the clients. So this is how it works, okay? This is the flow. You'll have the pain point, which will be in your short form content, your Instagram, your TikTok Reels. Then you introduce your framework in the middle of funnel, right? So maybe as soon as they go onto your funnel, they are introduced to a webinar, a training video, a school, low-ticket community, something like that. This is where you're introduced to your framework, and I'll go into how you can design your framework in a second. In that framework, you'll talk about a bit more about the solutions, and then obviously the transformation will be related to the offer that you're pitching, okay? So your audience will be at different stages along the funnel, okay? So this needs to be as streamlined as possible. Pain point will be, watching your content from their phone, then just looking through Instagram. They are introduced to your framework, so they have increased level of hope and okay, maybe this could work for me. Then they look at your solution with a lead magnet or something like that. Then they are guided to the transformation, which is where you make the sale. Okay, so 2 famous examples of these concepts are of Alex Hormozi's value equation and Russell Brunson's value ladder. These are 2 probably the most famous marketers in our generation at the moment. And Alex Hormozi, he has his book $100 million offers, a short read, very, very valuable, and it's really top of mind because they named their framework. It gives them a unique reference point in their audience's mind and their brand. Names like the client ascension path, right? Or momentum method. This could be anything, whether you're a life coach, business coach, fitness coach. Having frameworks that are named and unique to you really helps set you apart and gets your clients or your audience or your prospects have you in the front of their minds, okay? Real quick before you continue, if you're a coach or course creator and you want me to implement this kind of funnel for you, or you want to know how to do it yourself, then I have a free call link below where I can discuss a custom approach to how you can improve your sales streamlined without having to run ads or do any content. Click the link below. So these are the examples of the value ladder by Russell Brunson. Short illustration, easy to digest. And same with Alex Hormozi's value equation. Dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times the effort and sacrifice needed. That equals value, and that's really how he gets all these sales and how he's made hundreds of millions of dollars. So make sure in your framework or your concept, you're always addressing the main pain point. Your framework should have a problem that your audience deeply cares about. And the way you assess that is by looking at your content, looking at your comments, asking people in your coaching, on your webinars, really getting as much data as possible and building your concept or framework around the feedback. Then it needs to have like clear actionable steps. This is literally a ladder, right? It's a ladder and it's kind of easy to follow, okay? This is just an equation, okay, like we did in school. Really easy to follow, okay? Yours could be, some sort of cycle like this, right? So I don't know, X, Y, Z, I don't know, something like that. And you can have the name here, right? You can have the name of the framework here, and that could be it. That could be your framework, right? So arrows, boxes, Venn diagrams, stuff like that really, really help picture the problem and solution and gets you at the front of the mind of the audience, okay? Okay, so the next thing to change in 2025 is to increase the number of touch points, okay? So if I was a colleague that just interacted with you at work a few times, and then the next weekend I showed up to your door unannounced, wouldn't that be weird? It's the same in the digital world. Your prospects need at least 7 to 8 touch points in order for them to even consider buying from you. Some content on social media and the odd webinar simply won't cut it anymore. More time should be spent in the backend. So things like webinars or coaching calls in the community, your low ticket products, a mini course, the school community, and of course your emails. Like I email my list every day. Okay, so these are really important. This helps increase touch points. All right, so you need to take them on a journey and make every part of the funnel account for every step of every touch point, okay? So some people even have a different landing page for different parts of the funnel, okay? A webinar is a whole different landing page. A low ticket products like a mini course is a whole different funnel that goes onto a different landing page, that goes onto a different email sequence, and it's just so different and unique and just gives so much real estate in the minds of your audience, okay? Especially if you're running something like paid ads, okay? You need to be able to have the right touch points and the right number of touch points. I've signed up to a lead magnet in the past and I got a WhatsApp message or a call from someone in Germany, so things like that really, really helps. So you can use what I call not really the loyalty ladder, but more like the touch point ladder, let's say. So the touch point ladder, as you increase the number of steps and as like the more people go to your are in different parts of your funnel, then the more loyal they'll be. So I guess this is a hybrid of loyalty and touch points, right? So in the beginning, they're likely a future purchaser. Let's say they buy one of your mini courses, their first time purchaser. Then from there it gets really, really easy. Have an email sequence, webinars. Once they end up buying your products for a cheap price, they are much more likely to ascend to your high ticket product. And I'll make a whole separate video on that later. But low ticket ascensions are super important coming into this year. Because gone are the days when you can simply have a Facebook ad and you'll get leads on your calendar. So doing all of this and doing it frequently really helps with overcoming objections, right? On the sales call, they're pretty much ready. I do this for my online program and we have a 70% plus close rate. It's really easy to get people to buy because they're so nurtured in the right way, and it just makes everyone's lives so much easier, from my sales team to myself to the leads themselves. By the way, if you're getting any type of value from this video, make sure to leave a like, as it really helps the algorithm push more of my content to everyone else. So the key here is to structure your touch points in a way that helps overcome objection, and there's ways to do that. This will include like engaging with your audience. So having quizzes and polls. You could do this with YouTube polls. You could do this with Instagram and asking certain questions. That helps a lot. You can even spend 1 hour DMing people. Instagram has a feature where there's like a broadcast channel. You could have a Telegram group. A WhatsApp community for one of my clients helps a lot, where I guess the face of the brand or the guy who has the offer sends a WhatsApp video every 2 days. So he's just sitting there as a WhatsApp video and it feels so much more personal. So this is the old way of doing things if you want people to buy your high ticket product back in the day. An IG post, comment, DM, free workshop, and then from there they try and get them on a sale, okay? That's the old way and it just doesn't work anymore. Nowadays, this is what you need to do. An IG post or an ad, okay? And that ad will be retargeting the people who've watched the IG reels. Comments, like a mini chat automation, DM, free workshop, okay? So not jumping on a sales call straight away, or webinar. Then a follow up with the setter, because on that workshop, you would have sold them on a low ticket community, $20 a month. And the setter will either email them for a follow up or message them on School or Circle or whatever community platform they're using. Then this hope, like from here all the way here, there'll still be a ton of emails. Community, if you haven't got on a community before, they'll be on a community, low ticket products, more emails. Again, try and go for daily or 3 to 5 times a week. Then the sale will become a lot easier that way because you've had so many touch points rather than just a few here. So that's really it, okay? This might be a lot to digest, but look, if you want me to help you with this, then the link below is the best way to get in contact with me. Book a call and we'll chat further about your offer. That's it for this video. Make sure you leave a like, it helps the algorithm, and see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.